have a special guest, commercial pilot John Silcott, who has flown 777s, joins us now. John, good morning.
Good morning.
Just quickly, what are your impressions of the information that's coming out today?
There's certainly some good points. I have not flown the 777, just FYI. I fly in and out of San Francisco all the time. Flew in and out of San Francisco last Wednesday, as a matter of fact. But you've got to look at the big picture here. The crew just flew over 10 hours, so they were obviously tired. Sometime when the weather conditions are clear like that, you can get in a sense of complacency compared to if it's real foggy, where you've really got to be on your game. So sometimes that could play a role into it as well. The runway had a displaced threshold of 300 feet, which would alter the instrument landing system, so there's no glide slope information.
John,
that is not what we're used to flying.
John, let me jump in. Let's talk a little bit about that runway. I think a lot of people have flown into SFO, and it reminds them a little bit also of LaGuardia, where you're coming in over water.
Yep.
Discuss the particular challenges of that kind of runway approach.
Well, that in itself with the water is not a challenge. Now, LaGuardia, there's the runways are much shorter, so there's less margin for error. So, if you will, the pucker factor is a little higher flying into LaGuardia than San Francisco. San Francisco, the runways are over 10,000 feet long. So that in itself doesn't create any tension with the water. So
why would you, given that, why would there really ever be a risk that somebody would come in short if they have so much room to play with on that runway at SFO? Clearly, you can aim somewhere for the middle of the runway and you'd be okay. And
generally, that's what you do find. Planes tend to come in high and fast, not low and slow when you've got a long runway. Yeah, Denver's another good example. They've got a lot of long runways, so generally you're not low and slow. You're high and fast.
John, would there be any impact on the way pilots approach SFO going forward as a result of this crash?
Not in my opinion. It's not a high challenging airport to fly in and out of.
Okay. By the way, I should also ask, to what degree a lot of other airports, when you're flying in over land, of course, there are lights guiding you into the airport. I suppose you do have that in San Francisco, or not?
Yes, the lights extend out in the bay.
Okay. Yeah. Can you help us? One thing that's interesting here is that, up until, I guess, yesterday, we've had a remarkable safety track record in air travel in the United States. I think the last crash was a Buffalo Niagara crash that killed 50 in 2009. And before that, you have to go all the way back to 2001 to that takeoff from JFK when a couple hundred people died. To what do you attribute the fact that we've really had a long space in between significant crashes?
Well, the training that we all go through, and the recurrent training is pretty strong. You practice all these maneuvers, emergencies, and that's what we're trained for, to deal with issues. This instance, there's no known emergency, so that's what makes it so hard to clarify.
Okay, John Silcott, commercial pilot, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.